Hey there, how you doing? Charlie Winters here with selections for Bank Holiday Monday, the 29th of August, and they are as follows. But first, a quick recap on Sunday. Well, it started off great. Poets Dawn won. I don't know if you took the price or not, but I think it was around 9-2. So that was a great start for the Lucky 15, or the each way Lucky 15, and also a great start for the doubles, the each way doubles. However, I did pick 4 in that race, and I was really looking for one of the big prices to join it. Unfortunately, the 2 of them came too late. There was Regal Mirage. I think it drifted to 40s in the end. It was like crazy price. I think it came 6th, but they were closing hand over fist. And then the other horse, was it called Justine or Sting Me? Something like that. Ridden by Joanna Mason. And that, the commenter says, coming down the outside with a late run. I thought, hey, we've got a chance for first 4, but I think that came about 6th or 7th. So then the winner rolled on 2. Yeah, the winner rolled on 2. Well, onto the next race, which was, that's it. The horse, it actually won, the Grey Lass, which is great. So it actually created a profit for us. But once again, I was looking for one of the bigger prices to sneak in to get lots more doubles. All right, there only would have been place doubles for those horses that came placed. But yeah, was it Dapper Man, Dapper Lass? That one ran well, faded late on, and then there's another one that was it was just a bit frustrating, really. But yes, so the each way doubles made a slight profit. The Lucky 15 made a loss. Unfortunately, the football bet, the £7.31 bet that I had, which would have been very tasty. Well, one half of it came up. It was Joe Worrell to get booked. He did get booked, same as with 2 other central defenders for Forest. But unfortunately, Son for Tottenham didn't score. He did have 2 cracking chances to score, but he just doesn't quite seem on song yet. So I don't think I'll be touching him for a while. So yeah, unfortunate yesterday, but it was a losing day. So let's get on to Monday, where I've got 3 bets. The first bet, as you can see, and you've been able to see for quite a while, is a 50p each way patent. These are horses that are really fancy to win, but they are just about each way prices. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I need them to win, really. So let's get into it. So the first horse is Thayer at 9-2 in the 1 at Southwell, paying 4 plays instead of 3. This would have been my absolute nap if it had have been raced at Newcastle. I missed the horse last time when it ran a cracking second. Brandon Wilkie's on board. Well, I don't know what to make of the jockey yet. He did have a winner the other day. He rode, I think it was Dandy Angel. Well, he managed to find trouble when it seemed like all the horses were trying to keep away from him. But he still won the race. But it's like the waves just parted. It was just unbelievable. And it's like he still managed to find trouble. But then it wouldn't quite comfortably in the end. That was Dandy Angel. Well, I hope it gives this one a better ride. It does seem a decent jockey, but yeah, so I think this has got a cracking chance. It's in good form, that's Thayer. The second selection is Anniversary Bell at 100-30 in a 2 at Southwell, paying 4 places instead of 3. This is drawn 10. I think it'll be relatively prominent throughout. I believe it's 5 furlongs. In fact, let me just... Yeah, it's 5 furlongs at Southwell. It's Pam Sly, Ray Dawson, cracking jockey. I do think, well, it's like always at Southwell, even though they've changed the surface, you need to be up there. You need to be able to stay as well. Might sound daft, but yeah, that's what you need to be able to do. You need to have a bit of pace, and I think you need to be drawn now middle to near side. And I think Anniversary Bell ticks all the boxes for me. And I think it's got a cracking chance. So I'll just click back and let's get on to the third selection. So the third selection is Hoots Toots at 9-2 in the 320 at Southwell, paying 5 places instead of 3. Well, this horse, it's trained by Mick Easterby and it's ridden by Joanna Mason. And it ran a cracking race, drawn wide last time. Well, it's drawn wide again. And I think its run last time, it just about beat the favourite for this race by about a quarter of a length. Well, it raced wide throughout, so if you can race a little bit more towards, only a little bit towards the inner, or not as wide, surely it's got the confirmation of confirming of beating the favourite again. It should come on for the run because it was his first run for quite a while, so it should come on for the run. And it's also, I believe, is Joanna Mason. The syndicate is run by Laura Mason, so I'm guessing it's some kind of relative. Could it be sister? So I don't know. I'm guessing it could be no relation whatsoever. But on this bank holiday, are they getting all the people together? And are they going to have a day of it at their local tracks? Well, relatively local tracks, Southwell. I don't know. But yeah, certainly interesting horse anyway. So yeah, why not have your sister, if it is a sister, to ride it for her? Especially if you think it's going to win, because it did run a good race last time. So that's the first bet. I've also included the same horses in a 50p. Sorry, no, I haven't. Right, this is a free bet. I recommend a 50p each way treble. However, I had a free bet, so all I've done is with 5 a free bet for betting on Sky Bet. So what I've done, I've had a £2.50 each way treble. It was, well, I call it free. I got it because I've spent so much on Sky Bet, but I've just put it on this treble because I do fancy them all to run very well. So that's the free bet treble. So let's get on to the next bet, which is, so what I've done here, excuse me, I've gone for, I think, is it James McConnell, Irish trainer. He's brought 4 across from Ireland to run at Cartmel. Well, the trainer does like a gamble. Well, these aren't really gambling prices, but what's saying he couldn't have a 4-timer? I don't know. But with the price of these horses, you would fancy that they're all fancied to run pretty well. Don't get me wrong, the first selection, there's only 6 runners, and it is one of the outsiders. So let's get into it. So it's a 10p each way, look 15, and I've also had a £1 each way accumulator. So the first selection is Nick Lost at 17-2, the 14 minutes past 2, paying 3 places instead of 2 at Cartmel. The second selection is Streets of Doyen at 5-1 in the 3:24 at Cartmel, paying 3 places instead of 2. The third selection is Seddon at 6-1 in the 3:59 at Cartmel, paying 3 places instead of 2. And the final selection is Golden Ticket at 11-2 in the 4:35 at Cartmel. So there you can see a £1 each way accumulator. Then the final bet. So a 10p each way, lucky 15, and a £1 each way accumulator. The first selection is Soleil Star at 17-2 in the 33 minutes past 2 race at Ripon, paying 5 places instead of 3. I think this horse could easily bounce back. I watched the race this morning when it ran at Beverley. It was pulling like a trooper. I've even looked, I don't normally go into this, but I even looked at the sectionals. And mid-race, it was doing the quickest sectionals, or right up there anyway. So there's no wonder it weakened towards the end. And don't worry about how far it was. I think it was beaten 19 or 20 lengths in the end. The rider completely stopped riding with a furlong to go. It did all its racing, early to mid-race because it dwelled. And then I looked at the first furlong fractionals, and even though it dwelled, it pushed it up to run right behind the leaders. And it actually did. I think it was either the quickest or the second quickest fractional for the first furlong. And it's just like, I just think it did too much too soon. So David Allen's on board at Tim Easterby's favourite track, Ripon. So I think this will run very well today if it could just settle a bit more, which I think it will do. David Allen's a decent jockey. I'm not saying the other one isn't, but yeah, David Allen, decent jockey. So the second selection is Mascat at 5-1 in the 3:50 at Epsom, paying 4 places instead of 3. Well, Freddie Ginger rides this horse, and I believe it's the nephew of Joe Tizard, or the grandson of Colin Tizard. Well, it ran absolute cracker first time this season over course and distance in I think it's a similar standard race. I think it was beat by a horse called Going Gone, and they were like vying for the lead all the way around, and it only like gave in right towards the end. Well, I don't think this race is that competitive. Since that, it's actually run some funny races over hurdles, but I'm not too worried about that either. It's got first-time cheek pieces today, which I don't mind that because I went back through its form. I think it was when it was trained by Ralph Beckett, and it ran in first-time blinkers one time, and it actually put up a very good performance. I think it did a racing post rating of 9:1, whereas it only done something like 60-something the time before that, and about 70-something the time before that. So I do think the blinkers may have made a difference that day, but it's interesting that they're not using blinkers this time, they're using cheek pieces. So I'm guessing these would have been used at home. So Freddie Ginger, I would have expected him to at least have ridden this horse out at home, because obviously he can go to the stable yard anytime once with him being relative. So I think it should be up there throughout. Hopefully, I think if it could get an easy lead, I'd be more than happy with that. So the third selection is Arenas del Tiempo, 17-2 in the 425 at Epsom, paying four places instead of 3. Previously trained by Simon Dow. It's done loads of racing at Epsom. It loves Epsom, but since it's gone to Jim Boyle's stable, it hasn't ran there so far. It's ran at Kempton. It's ran at Salisbury. Both right-handed tracks, I believe. Well, obviously Epsom's a left-handed one, and obviously clearly it's not been running to his beloved Epsom. So I think this could go straight to the front, and I think it could possibly make call, because Jim Boyle is also, let's say, the improved so much for running at Epsom, or let's just say the targeted at Epsom. So I think it's got a cracking chance of making all. Just hope it doesn't go off too quick. And the final selection is Typical Man at 6-1 in the 5 o'clock at Epsom, paying 4 places instead of 3. This horse is ridden and trained by 2 individuals that are in the top form. You've got William Buick, who can't stop riding winners, and Ian Williams, who can't stop training winners at the moment. Well, I'm sure I can put the curse on that. So I've had Typical Man. I haven't gone too much into the form, because I think sometimes you don't need to when you've got informed jockeys and informed trainers with shortish price horses. So they're the 4 selections. I've also had, once again, £1 each way accumulator on those 4 horses. So that's every single bet. Tomorrow or tonight there will be a football bet ready for Tuesday, because there's quite a lot of football Tuesday. So anyway, fingers crossed. I've given you plenty of horses. Don't get me wrong, I'm 45, I think then. These bank holidays are not like they used to be. Sometimes there were over 20 meetings on a bank holiday Monday. So what is it today? 6, 7. I'm not saying it was better then, but obviously I can remember when it used to be teletext, and you had so many pages that you were flicking through. You got like 17 pages of horse racing results where you had to click quickly, press hold, or sometimes it was 20 minutes after the race and it still hadn't updated the results. So they were my bank holiday memories. But anyway, enough mumbling, waffling now. The very best of luck, and I mean that. Charlie Winters, over and out. Cheers, mate.